Welcome back to PLC class. Okay, so here we are today with another project that we have to do. What our boss wants us to do today is to design a stoplight. Our stoplight with the extra PLC that we have lying around. He wants us to install a stoplight. The traffic is a little crazy near the plant, and he just wants us to design an easy little stoplight for him. So let's check out the pieces that are already on here. We're going to use a timer, this timer on delay, and it's going to count every for 10 seconds and then reset itself. Reset itself with this done bit right here. So this done bit will reset this timer every 10 seconds. And then we're going to use the accumulated value of this timer to turn on the lights in different orders, right? And we kind of already have an idea how we could do that. We could go into the compare functions here, and we could pick some of these less thans like that. Like we could put a lot of little less thans and greater thans. We could do it that way, but there is a more efficient way. There's a more efficient way to do this. So we're going to learn about the new command to make that more efficient. Okay, so I've created a test environment for this new function that we're going to learn about. So the new function we are going to learn about is in the compare tab, like everything in the compare chapter is. And we are going to learn about the limit function, the limit test function. Now the limit test is pretty simple. It just tests if a value that we assign is between some limit, between two limits. So let's play around with that. So I've created a count up timer here, and I'm gonna take the accumulated value and use it as the value I want to test against. So if the accumulated value is what I want to test, I'm going to drag it into the test. This is what we are testing right here. We are testing this accumulated value of this counter. So let's set some values up. So this counter right here is going to start at 0, and it'll count up as much as I want it to, right? So let's make this do a limit test between 3 and 5. Okay? So I will go to the low limit. The low limit right here. This is the value that it will be greater to or equal to, greater than or equal to turn on. So if it is 3 or above 3, it will turn on. And the high limit is what it will be less than or equal to. So if I put in 5, the value will either, if it's under 5 or equal to 5, it'll turn on. But these things work together. So when we have these two things together, we have an instruction that becomes true when a value is equal to 3, 4, or 5 in this case. Because the low limit is 3 and the high limit is 5. And what we're testing is this ACC right here. And if you recall, we could do this before. We could do this with greater than, let's see if we can find less than or equal to and a greater than. We could do this with a greater than or equal to. We could do the same thing. We just set our source to this greater than, the 3, and a source to 5. But you will see that we are using 2 instructions here, and we are using 1 instruction here. And that makes it a little bit more readable. So let's fire this up and test it out. Alright, I have put it online, and you will notice this is all going and everything. Let's count it up. Let's count it up to 3 and see what happens. So as you see right now, it is below 3, right? So nothing is on, just as we expect. Let's turn this on. Toggle bit. Toggle. Okay, we're at 2. We're at accumulated value of 2 and 3. 3. We have equal 3 now. If 3 equals 3, this is on. Alright, let's count up to 1 more. Let's count to 4. Right, so we're still in 4. And this thing is still on. Let's do another count. 5. And the rung is still on because it is supposed to be 5, less than 5 or equal to 5. And let's do it one more time. Boom. And now it is off. So the limit test gives us a very easy way to make a constraint between certain values. we only want something to happen between certain values, we can use the limit test. That's what it's best used for. So let's see if we can implement this in our program. But first, we should probably have a look at how we want our traffic light to actually work. So what I've drawn here is an intersection. We have an intersection here. And on both sides of the intersection, there are lights. There will be lights on both sides. And there will be lights on here, 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 and here. And this, of course, has cars going from both directions. So there is a east to west way of going. An east to west. East to west. And they can go both ways. And there's also a north to south. There's also north to south. Now the thing about this is, the north and the south lights, they can be the exact same lights. And the same is true for this street right here. If it's green on this side, then it's green on this side. And if it's red on this side, then it's red on this side. So that means that we can connect anything that's on the same axis to the same circuit, essentially. So we can have one output control the north and south lights. And we can have one output control the west and east lights. So what do we want these things to actually do? Well, let's see. Write it out here. Okay. We want the green light to be on for about 4 seconds. 4 seconds. 4 seconds of green light. And then we want a yellow light, because we use the yellow light to transition from green to red, right? Yellow light to go on for 1 second. And then after the yellow light is gone, we want the red light for each side to stay on for 5 seconds. And we're going to want these to do these in alternate. So when this side is green, we want this one to be red. And when this side is yellow, we still want this one to be red. It is only when this side becomes red that we want this one to become green. So it's very important that we have our yellow light not make the other side turn yellow at the same time. We want our yellow light for like this side to keep this side green or red. So we're back to our template here. So what we have is our timer on delay, which is going to be used as our main timer for the accumulated value. We're going to use it to reset itself every 10 seconds, and that'll be our main timing loop. And we have our north and south, yellow, green, and red lights. And we have our east and west, green, yellow, and red lights. Okay, so let's use our new tool. Let's use our limit test tool. Okay. So the value I want to test against for this is going to be the accumulated value. So we're going to use the word of this accumulation to test against. And so we decided earlier that we wanted this light to be on for 4 seconds, right? So what should we start? What should we start this on? Well, we want it to be on for 4, so our high is on 4, right? And this value will start at 0 because it is a timer, so we're going to actually start it at 0, but it will not stay 0 for very long. So we're going to start it at 0, and we're going to have our high be on 4, and we'll test it that way. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at this yellow light, the north and south yellow light. Let's use another limiter. Now we could do it this way. We could go to low limit of 4 or 5, right? Because we want to turn on it at 5, and we could have it turn off at the end of 5, right? So we could have our high limit be 5, but isn't this kind of a lot? What we really want it to be is just equal to. We want this to be equal to 5. When this is equal to 5, we want the yellow light to be on. So let's use our equal command, right? Equal. So when our accumulated value of this accumulated value right here, when this accumulated value is equal to 5, this will turn on, right? That's more simple than using this limit. Even though both would work, they would both work in the same way. All right, let's do one more. All right, red light. So when we want our red light to turn on, so we're testing again. We're testing our timer's ACC value, and we are turning our red light on when? Well, from past 5, right? So 6 to the final value of 10. There's one thing, however, we need to note. I actually set my timer to 10 seconds, and it would reset. It would reset on 10, but we don't actually want it to do that, do we? We wanted to have that whole second, that whole 10th second. And so actually I should probably change this to 11. Right? And now when it hits 11, when it enters 11, this will reset itself. So let's test this thing out. I'm going to download it. Okay, I've downloaded it. Let's go on, let's run this thing. Run. Changing the processor run mode, and we are started. Okay, green light is on. That means cars can go through the north and south. It's on yellow for just a second, and now it's in the red. In the red. Okay, and we have reset. It has gone through its 10-second cycle and reset itself. So let's try to count this out and see if my time is right. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000. That's 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's what we wanted it to do. All right, let's set up the other one. Let's go back offline. Go offline to reset. Okay, let's do the limit of these. Let's do these, and we're gonna do another equals to for yellow here. And so what do we want our green? What do we want our green to turn on during? We don't want it to turn on during 0 and 4, do we? Because then it would be on at the same time, and the cars would crash against each other. We're trying to avoid as many car crashes as we can right now. First off, the green light should probably be turned on when this red light is turned on, right? That is typically how these things work. So this red light is turned on from 6 to 10. So let's set this one on, 6 to 10. 10. I'll drag and drop this ACC down here and attach it. Okay, so let's look at yellow light. When should the yellow light be yellow? Well, should it be the same as this yellow light? No, we don't want both yellow lights to be on at the same time. We want that yellow light to be yellow for a second on the very end of this green light, right? And so our green light here is a little bit too long. We actually need to turn this down to 9. And we want our yellow then to be on when the ACC is equal to 10. We want our yellow light to go. Okay, our last light then. When do we want this to be red? We want this to be red when this green light and when this yellow light are on at the same time. So what is the lowest? 0? Okay, well then we need to pick between the lowest and the highest. So we need to go between 0 and 5. Or 0 and 4, I should say. See if that's right. Maybe I'm wrong in my head here. We'll find out. We'll give it a test. 0 and 5. Oops. Yeah, 5. Okay, so let's download and see what happens. Download. Let's go online and run, and let's see what happens. Okay, so this light is green as we saw before. Let's see what we got down here. Red light, green, and watch our ACC right here. It was yellow, and then it went back to red. And they are alternating. So when this is red, this is green. And even while this one is yellow, this one, even when this is red and this is yellow, it still works. So cool. We have created a very simple stoplight situation, and using the new limits that we have.